All right, guys, I'm going to hit you with a couple of headlines here. You can go check these articles out at the respective websites for these. I got a couple more. And another one here. And last one. This is where CEOs, executives, and business owners, and I guess just big business, is out of touch with the economy, and you can see where capitalism ruins everything, okay? If the middle class is now flocking to Walmart to buy their food, if they're flocking to TJ Maxx and discount retailers now to buy stuff, it is not a good sign. Yes, I know they're like, Walmart's going to make so much money. This is so great. This is a sign that the economy is crumbling to a point that the middle class, who traditionally make the amount of income that lets them spend frivolously, this is a sign that they're now running out of money to spend frivolously. And there are going to be a number of things that are going to fall apart when this happens. Higher end retail stores, like when I say higher end, I know you guys are going to laugh at me for this, but when I say higher end, I mean like Whole Foods, places like that. Not that I like them because it's Amazon owned and they're garbage, but Whole Foods, places like that that sell marked up items that kind of keep the economy afloat and provide jobs. Yeah, this is going to start shedding jobs. If people are not shopping at the places they used to anymore, then those places are going to have less employees. And I know you guys are like, some of you are going to be like, oh, that's not such a big deal. No, you see, here's the problem. Because if a place like Whole Foods isn't making the money they used to anymore, they'll just start firing people. This won't hurt the Whole Foods. This won't hurt the bigger companies. They'll start shedding wages is what they'll do. So this isn't a good thing. Also, those middle class people, I think I did a video already about part of this, but it's just not a good thing. They're not going to be happy with the position they're in. Keep in mind, middle class people are ones who spent for college education. They're going to be none too happy when their $100K a year is worth nothing. And if we're reaching the milestone where $100K is not enough, keep in mind we already say that the median average income should be $75,000, that's the number you need to survive in the economy. If 75 is what it takes, and 100 is not too far off, and let's say you're married and maybe you're pulling $250,000 a year, which, as I've talked for in previous videos, even after taxes, that's not that much. It's going to be too expensive to survive in at middle class. You're just going to have the elite and the rest of us. And that's it. That's it. And then you're going to see companies complaining more about shoplifting, which I did a video about that. You know, here it'll be up after a bit here. But about shoplifting, how it's killing them. It's not. How nobody wants to spend anymore. We'll see that come up again. I've seen that in my lifetime. I've seen numerous articles where spending is turned down because people can't afford it. And then these companies are like, we don't know. People just aren't spending anymore. We don't know what it is. Couple that with the nobody wants to work crap that goes out. And yeah, we're going downhill. And I think at this point, I'm fine with that. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. I want the elite to fall is what I want. I want to get to a point that's so bad that people are taking the action to do stuff. At this point, you know, I'm not sure how to handle the situation. Maybe everybody just needs to start shoplifting something from these stores to show them that they're not as high and mighty as they think. And I don't even know if that'd be enough. I'm not even sure if every person took one item, it would be enough to do a dent because of how much money they make. And I'm not even kidding. If you don't believe me, once it's up, go look at the video I have about shoplifting, get some percentages in there to see how bad it is for how they're not really doing that horrible. But yeah, these aren't good things. When you have the middle class start having to do cheaper shopping, and this isn't new. These articles are kind of resurfacing. They're new for the year, for like 2023, but I've seen these as far back as like 2020, 2019. They were talking about how they're seeing a trend in middle class shoppers now going to Walmart. And again, that's not a badge of honor. Also, the other effect, for those of you that are like, this won't affect me, they're just shopping there with me. The Walmart prices have started to increase because they know the margin for what those people can pay, won't pay, and they know that sweet spot where you can barely afford it. People like you and me can barely afford it, but the middle class are still thinking they're getting a great deal. So, you know, if somebody who's in the middle class was used to paying $9 for a loaf of whole grain bread, think about that, because there are people that spend that kind of money on whole grain bread. If they're willing to spend $9 on whole grain bread and that cost is shot up to $12, they're going to feel right at home when they go to Walmart and that loaf of bread is $8, but you won't when that loaf of bread used to cost you maybe $5 and now it's gone up $3. Do you see the problem there? Do you see where this is going? So yeah, these aren't good things, and this is just going to lead to a further crumbling. For many people, Walmart is the last bastion of hope they have before they have to go to a place like Save-A-Lot where the food is awful. Save-A-Lots are horrible places. The food is not good there. It's cheap, but it is not good. And I don't mean just like the ingredients are bad. I mean like the food has gone bad in the store. I've been to a Save-A-Lot once in my life. The bread was moldy. The meat they had was purple and green. It was bad. So if you want to see that future coming, go to a Save-A-Lot and go look at why it's so damn cheap. And you'll see that it's not really that great. But yeah, this is not a good thing, guys. Not at all.